And so, as I was saying to finish my point, I should have the right not to teach that to my children, or to teach them the way that I want to teach them about that lifestyle, as long as, like I said, I'm not teaching hate, I'm not teaching go out and harm and, be ugly to people. I should have that right as a parent. Um, just as a person who may be a Buddhist is not going to teach their children about Christianity. Are they anti-Christian? Or, are they looked at as, some type of a terrorist because they won't teach their children? They don't believe in Christianity. So, is that bad and wrong for them, as long as they're not killing and hurting Christians, or what do you say, violating their rights, So, but anyway, I watched this documentary, and this particular woman in the documentary talked about how in school her son was beginning to get into a lot of fights. Finally, long story short, she met with the teacher, I guess maybe in the principal or whatever, and, wanted to get down to the bottom line of what exactly is going on. She spoke with her child, her son. He basically told her that, Mom, during recess or when we play or whatever, a lot of the little boys are touching me, and they're touching me in my private area. So she went to the school to talk to them about that. They basically was just like, oh, kids are just kids, and oh, it's just a little game that they call nutsies, and it's a game where the little boys run around and grab each other by the private part. And so this is why her son was getting into fights. Now, I'm going to come from the aspect of, in this country, there's supposed to be laws. There are laws on your job which are called sexual harassment laws. There are some laws where even if you look at a person in a certain way, you can violate that sexual harassment law. If you tell certain jokes in front of people on your job, you can be fired. You could be written up. You could, it could go further than that. So I'm thinking, surely, if you touch somebody, violate their space and their body, you're definitely going to be in trouble. So my point is, where are these laws in school? These are little people who have rights. These are little people who have the right to not want to engage in a lifestyle that they don't feel comfortable in. That does not make them homophobic. That does not make their parent homophobic. If me as a little girl, when I was a little girl, going to school, I know me. There is no way I would want another little girl touching me in any kind of way. Or a little boy. I would expect it from a little boy, but certainly not a little girl. If your mind isn't going that way, how do you rationalize that within yourself, that this is okay? If you're uncomfortable about it, those are your feelings. You should have a right to them. So, we have been told that wrong is right and right is wrong. And when I say that, I'm talking about how we seem to punish people for not wanting to go along with the crowd, not wanting to do what everybody else is doing. I understand homosexuality. I know about it. There's nothing you can tell me that probably about it, well, I don't know, but hopefully there's not much that new that I don't know. I still don't want to engage in it. I still don't want to tell my daughter about it. I still don't I still want to teach her the way that I want to teach her about that lifestyle. She's not going to hate. She's not going to kill anyone. She's not going to be rude to anyone in that lifestyle. And like I keep saying, that should be your right. Now, let me get on this before I end this video. Me being opposed to transgender type lifestyles, to homosexual type lifestyles, like I keep saying, if that's what they do, that's their right. But I still, me and my family and household should have a right to feel the way that we do as heterosexuals. It seems that heterosexuals' rights are being violated, but no, there's no laws against that. There's no name to call somebody heterosexual phobic. You know what I'm saying? There's no, I don't hear that. But as I said, we should have a right as well to want to preserve family. We should have a right to want to continue to make babies. I understand they can adopt. I understand they can do artificial insemination and everything else. But my point is, I still believe in family. I believe, once again, we're talking about black liberation. Everything I talk about is about black liberation. I believe for a healthy future, for a good, for the next generation, we need to make black babies. The only way that you're going to do that is with a man and a woman, and then a father and a mother to help raise these children. You need a balance. Now, like I said, I'm not going to get into whether or not 2 women can raise a child or 2 men can raise a child and they can be happy and everything. Good. If that's the case, good. But I understand that nature and just nature tells you child needs the balance from things that the father can teach him and give them. Then they need the other side of the balance of the things that the mother can teach them and give them and nurture them and help them. And it all comes together in one big family unit with a mother and a father teaching a child the things that they need to know. Like I said, if it's a thing of, you know, you want 2 daddies, 2 mommies, whatever, but my thing is that heterosexuals' rights should not be violated either. If that's a lifestyle that you want to be in and indulge in, everybody doesn't have to know, is my point. Heterosexuals, for the most part, who are in healthy male-female relationships and committed to one another, do not go around telling everybody what they did last night and how they did it. You know, y'all know I always have a story. So on my job, a few years ago, I was working at this time in a call center. And so you got everybody working there. So there was a young gay black man who, he seemed nice enough. He was a few desks down from me. And, you know, a lot of the women were friends with him. I on every job I'm on, I'm quiet and kind of stay to myself. Not because I don't like people, but that's just because that's how I am. So anyway, this guy, we would take calls, and so when our calls began to get low, he would turn around and he would start to talk to everybody. And I mean, the thing that bothered me, like I said, he was a nice enough guy, but he would sit and talk about this man and that man, and they did this, and this is how they kissed, and this, and I'm just like, you know, dude, even if you weren't gay, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear you saying you did it with your woman. You know, I mean, that's what I keep talking about. There needs to be a level of self-respect and respect for others. I even if you're not gay, I don't want to hear that, you know. So, you know, I never said anything to him or about it and everything, and, you know, but it just seems to be a push with those in the gay community to tell you, for you to understand. And it seems to me that they're looking for a reaction. A lot of times it seems to me that they're looking for more than likely a negative reaction so that they can, get on you or say something or whatever. And it's not about that. I don't want to hear, what this woman has to say about it, So, that's really my take on it. I think we as parents need to find out what side we are on that and teach our children accordingly. I think it's very confusing to involve sex with a child at a young age, whether it's heterosexual or homosexual. I don't think they need that pressure, to be honest. What was I going to benefit from knowing about any of that at 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years old? Now, I'm not talking about teaching a child about their body and if anyone touches them or violates them or something. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about sex acts. And, this person is with this person and this is what they did, and that's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about teaching your children about their body and safe touching and unsafe touching. I'm not talking about that. So I'm going to be posting more about this topic because it's just a double standard between heterosexuals and the homosexual community. It's a double standard. They seem to want all of the rights, and while they're violating and taking heterosexuals' rights, and it seems to be okay. And I'm saying it's not okay. You can't override a person's rights for yours. There's no way to peaceably do it together. Then I don't know, something needs to change. So you guys, I thank you again for listening to me. Please chime in, let me know. Like I said, I know this is a sensitive subject. Let me know what you think. Let me know how you feel. My question is, I want to know, how young do you think it is to begin to introduce sex in any way to children, but especially homosexuality? Do you think 3 is too young, 4 is too young? Should you wait to 10? Should you? I would like to know. Do you even feel like it's important for them to know about that? Any thoughts, any concerns that you might have? Please chime in. Let me know. Comment, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video. Thank you for watching.